Now that we are a little more comfortable with the definitions of these various quadrilaterals, let's dig a little deeper into this hierarchy. You may have noticed, let's just start with the rectangle. You may have noticed that your rectangle has the term parallelogram in its definition. You also may have noticed that then the term parallelogram has quadrilateral in its definition. This means that the rectangle can also be classified as a parallelogram and a quadrilateral. All of these terms describe the shape. So your rectangle can be classified or described as a parallelogram and a quadrilateral. If you look at your rhombus has the terms parallelogram and kite in its definition. That means that the rhombus fits the definition of a parallelogram by having opposite sides parallel. It fits the definition of a kite by having two pairs of adjacent sides that are congruent. And because it fits the definition of a parallelogram and it fits the definition of a kite, that means it must also be a quadrilateral, or it means it has four sides. The trapezoid is called a quadrilateral. So that means it fits the definition of a quadrilateral and that it has four sides. It does not fit the definition of a parallelogram. Otherwise, the term parallelogram would be in its definition. So let's see if we can practice this some, looking at different shapes and trying to figure out all of the different geometrical names that we can give to this shape. So we have here our figure or our shape. The first question is, how many right angles does it have? Well, let's see. I don't see any perfect 90-degree angles here. So it would have 0 right angles. How many pairs of congruent sides or equal sides? I can't say for sure that there are any equal sides here. How many pairs of parallel sides? Remember, parallel means that they're never going to touch. I do see that this right and left side are parallel to one another and that they're both going straight up and down. So that means we have one pair. A pair is meaning two sides. So we have one pair of parallel sides. So if we think back to our definitions, that means that which of these words can describe this figure? A trapezoid. Well, a trapezoid has four sides and exactly one pair of parallel sides. So yes, this fits the definition of a trapezoid. Does it fit the definition of a parallelogram? No, because the top and the bottom are not parallel to one another. There are not two pairs of parallel sides, there's only one. And because it's not a parallelogram, it cannot be a rectangle, it cannot be a rhombus. Is it a quadrilateral? Yes, because it has four sides. Is it a kite? No, because it does not have any pairs of congruent sides. So this shape can be classified as a trapezoid and a quadrilateral. Let's try another one. Here we have the number, I forgot the headings. Okay, the number of right angles. How many right angles? There are 0 right angles. How many pairs of congruent sides? Well, let's see, the top and the bottom are equal to each other and the right and left are equal to each other. So there are 2 sets of congruent sides. And the top and the bottom, the right and the left are both parallel to each other. So, giving that information, we can now classify all of the different names of this shape. Is it a trapezoid? No, it's not a trapezoid because a trapezoid can only have one set of parallel sides, and we have 2 sets. 2 sets of parallel sides is the definition of a parallelogram. So yes, it's a parallelogram. Is it a rectangle? No, because it does not have any right angles. Is it a rhombus? No, because not all sides are congruent. Is it a square? No, because a square has to have 4 right angles and equal side lengths. Is it a kite? No, because adjacent sides are not congruent. So for this one, we can only give it the name of a parallelogram. You will now have the opportunity to try this exercise on a few different shapes of your own.